Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a super easy drugstore everyday makeup tutorial. This is kind of my go-to look when I'm just heading up to the shops or going out for coffee with a friend. As you can see, my hair is pretty crazy at the moment. I washed it last night. I went to bed with it still a little bit wet, and then I got up this morning and went straight to the gym. So I've just gotten out of the shower now, and this is how it looks. I've tried to tame it as much as possible because I want to show you guys a really new exciting product from GHD at the end of this video. Let's jump into it because I feel like I look like an absolute hot mess right now. It is so hot in Brisbane at the moment, and I can't have the aircon or my fan on in this room because it's way too noisy. So we're just gonna get going and try and survive this heat. So first things first, I like to go in with a pore minimizing primer. I get quite large pores around like the fronts of my cheeks here, so that's where I tend to kind of focus this product. So I'm going in with the Maybelline Master Prime Pore Minimizing Primer, and I just find that this helps to keep my foundation looking kind of like it's on like a smoother canvas, if that makes sense, like a more smooth, flawless canvas. So I literally just keep this towards my T-zone, so like down the center of my forehead, and then just to the front of my little cheekies right here. Alrighty, so for foundation, I'm going to take the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. I've got two shades here because I'm a little bit in between like a self-tan kind of rubbing off. It's an awkward stage. So I'm going to mix these two shades together and see if I can come up with like my perfect shade at the moment. But I'm actually also going to mix a little bit of the L'Oreal Lumi Magic Primer into it. I really love the Fit Me Matte and Poreless formula, but as you guys know, I do love a little bit of radiance in my skin. So I like to mix these two together just to get kind of like my perfect foundation fit, if that makes sense. Also, I find this so funny, but I got a comment on my last drugstore video where I used this foundation, and it was a girl that said, the reason I am unhappy about there not being a pump on this foundation is because I'm young. What? That's literally what she said. So, it's not because I'm young, it's because I would just prefer it to have a pump. It's as simple as that. So I've just mixed it on the back of my hand, and now I'm just going to pump a little bit of Lumi Magic in. Mix that around and then apply to my face. For like an everyday makeup look, I don't go for like super full coverage, so I'm going to try and keep this product kind of minimal and then build as I go. So I've still got heaps left on the back of my hand there. And then just bounce it in with my beauty blender. I think I did pretty well with that color. Okay, so that's one light layer there. So I'm just gonna pick up a little bit more and just go over the areas where I've got a few breakouts at the moment, just to try and build that coverage. I thought I'd just quickly zoom you guys in so that you can see how that foundation actually looks on my skin. It's super, super, super natural, and it has like a very skin-like finish to it, which is what I love. And you can see like the mixture of the Lumi Magic with the matte and poreless formula is just beautiful. You can see like a beautiful radiance on my skin. All right, and for concealer, I'm just gonna take my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is one of my all-time favorite drugstore concealers. I'm pretty sure I featured this in my last drugstore video. Most likely, I use it all the time. And I'm just gonna use it to highlight and conceal under my eyes, and then a little bit on the center of my face. And then again, just bouncing it in with my beauty blender. And then depending on the day and depending on my skin, if I feel like I've got some breakouts that I still want to add a little bit more coverage to, I go in with the L'Oreal True Match Concealer, and I just use that over my blemishes. Some days I don't even use this. It honestly just depends how my skin's looking on the day. All right, now to set that in place, I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is in the shade 120, and I'm going to use this really, really lightly on a big fluffy brush just to set kind of like the T-zone areas. I try not to set my face too much, otherwise I feel like it starts to look cakey, and because it's kind of an everyday look, I wanna keep it as light and as fresh as possible. So I pat it into the powder and then tap off as much of the excess as possible, and just lightly pat my face. I just focus on the areas really that are prone to getting oily. So for me, that's kind of like the center of my forehead and then my chin area as well. And then to set my under eyes really lightly, I like to take the Maybelline Master Fix Banana Loose Powder. I try not to use too much because this is super brightening, so you don't want to get like flashback or anything crazy like that. I would definitely recommend only using like the smallest amount of this. All right, now for brows, I keep them pretty simple on an everyday basis, and I usually always use my Benefit Cosmetics brow products, but because this is a drugstore tutorial, I thought I would whip out one of my old fave brow pencils. This is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I'm lucky I've got my brows microbladed on, so they don't need a lot. So all I'm gonna do is just fill in the tail at each end of my brow because that's where it looks a little bit more sparse. And then I'm just gonna go over with a brow gel and that is it. And then for brow gel, I'm just going in with the L'Oreal Paris Brow Artist Plumper. This one is the shade, don't know, it's like the light brown. Where is the shade name? Light medium, there we go. I really like this because it kind of has like a little bit of a highlighting reflect in it. So it highlights all your little brow hairs and just makes them look a lot more natural. All right, now for bronzer, I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Back to Bronze bronzer. This is my all-time favorite drugstore bronzer. It's just the most beautiful shade. And what I'm gonna do is just use this to bronze and sculpt my face a little bit. I'm also gonna run a little bit of it through my crease as well, just to add a little bit of definition to my eyes. I actually always use bronzers through my crease. They're like the perfect transition color, and if you're using the same bronzer that you've used on your face, it just kind of blends in all together really nicely. Alrighty, now to add a little bit of color to my cheeks, I'm going to use this Wet n Wild blush in the shade Mellow Wine. And then for highlight, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this like a gazillion times on my channel, but my favorite drugstore highlighter is the Model's Own Sculpt and Glow Powder in the color Golden Sand. It is absolutely beautiful, so this is what I'm going to use today. And then a simple little addition that I like to do to my eyes, because obviously I've just done the bronzer in the crease for now. I'm just going to take this color here in the Wet n Wild Nude Awakening palette. It's like a really pretty kind of gold champagne-y shimmer. And I'm literally just going to take that on my finger and apply that straight to my lid. It's like a really pretty bronze, actually. I don't know why I said goldy champagne-y. Bronze is the word I was looking for. And then I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of that Model's Own highlighter on a pencil brush and just apply that to my inner corners. And now I'm just gonna coat my lashes using the Maybelline Big Shot Colossal Mascara. I don't really ever use false lashes on an everyday basis. I know some people do, but to be honest, I just can't be bothered with that effort. That's a lot of effort on an everyday basis for me. So I like to use a really good mascara that adds a lot of volume as well as length. And I feel like this one does the perfect job of that. And then I just do the tiniest little bit on my lower lashes as well, just so that they look like they still exist. Oh, wow. This also happens usually on an everyday basis as well. Little tip, if you ever do this, just let it dry. Just keep going with your makeup, let it dry, and come back to it in like a couple of minutes because it's so much easier to remove when it's actually dried down. I'm the messiest person when it comes to mascara. All right, now to finish off the look, we obviously have to do lips. So what I'm gonna do, because I really like this Maybelline lipstick, but it is quite matte and drying. So I prefer to always put a lip balm on before I apply that. So I'm just applying my Maybelline Baby Lips Mango Lip Balm. This has been my favorite lip balm, I swear, since I was like 15. I always used Baby Lips and I still do. I love it. And then I'm just going to line my lips with the Chi Chi Cosmetics Nude Centerfold Lip Liner. So this is the color Beige Babe. It's like the perfect nude everyday color. And it's like my go-to. I literally had to go and grab this out of my handbag to film this video. That's how much I love it. So Definitely recommend if you're after like a really affordable everyday lip color. All right, now to set all of that in place, I'm gonna go in with the Rimmel London Insta Fix and Go 2-in-1 Priming and Setting Spray. That is a mouthful and a half. All right, so now for the super exciting part of this video, I'm going to show you guys how I've been straightening my hair on an everyday basis recently. It is so easy, and it's using the new GHD Glide tool. This is really, really cool because it is a hairbrush that straightens your hair. Now, I've actually used a few of these types of products before, and if I'm being completely honest, they always came across as quite gimmicky to me. Like, none of them really ever worked exactly how they said that they would. So when GHD approached me about this, I was so excited because GHD is such a reliable company. Like, they provide such good quality products. I was like, surely they're not going to bring out something that's lesser quality than the rest of their straighteners. And they didn't. Like, this is honestly incredible. The demos that they gave us at the launch were actually really, really cool because they had some girls that had like super, super curly hair, and they'd straightened one side and left the other side curly so that they could show us how it worked. And literally like one brush over like the super ringlety type hair, it was perfectly straight. It was actually mind-blowing. So ever since then, I've been using it every day, and I'm going to feature it in today's video so that you guys can see just how amazing it is. So thank you again to GHD for partnering with me on this video. The fact that I can continue my relationship with them is really exciting for me, and particularly for a new product like this. I'm so excited to show you guys. Wait till you guys see what we're gonna work with today. Like, it is actually tragic. My hair, when it dries naturally, is just like, it's not straight, it's not curly, it's like, it's this. I don't know what you call this, but yeah, this is like a mixture of freshly washed bed and gym hair. So we're really putting it to the test today. So what I'm gonna do is literally just separate my hair in half. And as always, I'm going to make sure I use the GHD Unplugged Heat Protect Spray just to keep my hair nice and healthy. The brush does heat your hair to about 185 degrees. So as you can imagine, it's quite hot. It is a safe temperature for hair, but just to be extra careful, it's really important to use the heat protectant on it, especially if you're someone that uses a hair straightener or this product on a daily basis. You need to make sure you're taking care of your hair as well. And I'm just going to turn on the brush by holding down this button. It doesn't make a noise like the other straighteners do. So if you're waiting for a noise to happen, you're gonna be waiting for a while. But what it will do is just start flashing like that. Once it stops flashing, that's when you know that it is at the ideal optimum temperature to start styling your hair. All right, so it takes about maybe like 20 to 30 seconds for it to fully heat up. And as you can see here, it's stopped flashing, which means it is now ready to use. So what I'm gonna do is grab a section of hair that's gonna be no wider than the width of the brush for obvious reasons. And literally, I'm just gonna start brushing. Amazing! I'm barely holding it on my hair, and the results are very, very quick. You can also just go underneath your hair like that. I personally have quite thick hair, so I like to go over some parts a few times if I feel like the brush hasn't reached all of it. The other thing is that you can literally roll out of bed and just get straight into it because it is a brush. So if you've got knotty hair, it can brush out the knots as you're straightening. Boom. One side is done. Look at how much extra length I've got in my hair just from straightening it. That's crazy. The other thing I really love about this, and this is just like, I guess personally for me, because I really do struggle with frizzy hair, especially at this time of the year being so humid and hot here in Brisbane. This actually reduces frizz and just makes it look a lot shinier and smoother as well, which is always nice because there is literally nothing worse than getting ready for the day and walking straight outside and your hair is just like, poof. All right, that's one half done. So I'm going to let the second half down now and finish off my hair. Boom, that is literally it. So quick and easy to do, and I just feel like it leaves my hair looking so shiny. I don't know how it does that. I think it's to do with the ceramic plates, but I just love how healthy it leaves my hair looking. So pretty happy with it, pretty impressed. Like I said, tried so many of these types of like hair straightening brushes before, and none of them have been able to give me this kind of result. A lot of them have left my hair looking super like thick, which is weird, but I found that this one kind of takes away a lot of my volume, which I personally really like because I have really thick hair, so it kind of smooths it out for me, and that is probably what I love the most about it. It still gives you like the same quality as you would get from a normal GHD straightener. So there we have it. That is the finished look. This is literally my go-to everyday makeup. Super simple, super pretty. I feel like it looks really natural, but kind of enhances your natural features, which I really like as well. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, then please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to my channel as well. I would really love for you to become part of the family. And I will see you guys in my next upload, which is in another 3 days. Bye guys.